Good morning, baseball way of lifers. How you doing? Sorry for the delay here. First time we're doing a 7 a.m. broadcast, and I don't have the time schedule down the way I would like. And our big staff production meeting before the broadcast took a little bit longer than it took. Now, you're probably wondering who's in the big staff production meeting. Well, it's me, myself, and I. And I'll be honest with you, I still had a shower. Yes, I did the broadcast. I didn't even shower. So I want you guys to see the best of me and salute. Happy Monday. Let's hope it's a great week. Baseball wise, it will be. We're coming down to the final stretch here. We've got 2 weeks of baseball left in the regular season, and it should be fun. A lot of wacky wild card races going on. Hey, and the NL East is still undecided. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun ride. And again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in this early. Just remember, we'll be on 7 o'clock every day. The weekends, it may be a little later. It could be a little bit earlier. If it's earlier, I know you guys aren't going to be tuning in then. But you can always watch these by subscribing to the channel on the YouTube and becoming a member. And we have every show archived. And I want to thank all you guys for subscribing the last couple of days. It's been great. And like I said, I want to do these YouTube broadcasts every day just to bring familiarity with me and you. Feel free to leave comments. After every show, I'm going to suggest you ask questions or comments, and we can address it the next day. Or hey, even if you want to come on board and be a guest one day, you're more than welcome. Just let me know. We can set something up. Doesn't have to be at this hour. 7 a.m. could be at your convenience. So whatever you want. You just want to talk. You're a baseball fan. You want to talk about your team, your player, the season. If you have a podcast, a newsletter, another group, Facebook group, whatever, we welcome them all. We welcome discussion as long as it's baseball related. And that's what we're about. Everyone here, I think, is a big baseball fan. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching right now. So, again, I want to thank you all for coming in and talking and joining. Now, yesterday I asked the same thing the first time I did the broadcast on the Baseball Way of Life group, which, by the way, if you're not a member, please do join. It's Baseball Way of Life on Facebook if you're a Facebook member. Great content every day. And not to brag or anything, but we're 10,000 strong, and we got some of the most diehard baseball fans on there. And to those people who are watching who are those diehard fans, you know who you are. Again, thanks for making the group site so great. And it's amazing. We have everything there. We have this date in baseball history, a baseball Jeopardy. We have baseball trivia contests every day. We have Caption This Photo. We have birthdays we celebrate every day. And just great posts, daily topics, some statistical, some just opinion posts. And it is fun. So like I said, always feel free to participate. All are welcome to do so. And like I said, the more, the merrier. Everyone's welcome. No one left any questions, and there were really no hot topics I wanted to discuss. So I'm just going to basically go over some of the stuff that happened in the last day or so as far as baseball. And how often do you see a cycle? Well, how about Eddie Rosario of the Atlanta Braves? He hit a cycle, and he was the second Brave this year to hit a cycle. Who was the first? It was, yes, Freddie Freeman, hitter deluxe for the Braves. Now, what made Rosario's cycle even all the more amazing, the Braves needed that win against the Giants. They're hanging on by a thread, protecting that lead against the Phillies, so they needed that one. And it's tough to win that ballpark. I keep saying San Francisco is going to fade, but they're still ahead of the Dodgers. Are they going to prove me wrong? Are the the Giants going to finish ahead of the Dodgers? We shall see. But the Braves definitely needed a pick-me-up yesterday, and Eddie Rosario was the man who provided it, and boy, did they need it. And what's more than amazing is he hit for a cycle on only 5 pitches. Upon making contact on first pitch curveball in the top of the 9th inning, Rosario raised his right hand in the air before the ball touched the grass. His Braves teammates began celebrating, requesting the ball upon the play's completion. Rosario had singled, which meant he had completed the cycle. Now, not only Rosario's feet of the cycle, but Max Fried, and boy, the Braves need him. He was supposed to be a big part of the rotation, part of the Brave future as far as pitching concerned. Well, Max Fried came through with 7 scoreless innings, And that was the key to the Braves' 3-0 win over the Giants Sunday afternoon at Oracle Park. And Oracle Park is such a beautiful park to watch a baseball. I haven't been there, but just watching on TV, I just love watching the games there. And those two guys, those two gents with their performances, Fried and Rosario, their performance was special, and it added to Atlanta's quest for the NL East title. I'm still sticking with my guns. I'm saying the Braves are going to win the NL East title. And those who saw the YouTube cast when I did my baseball previews knew I picked the Braves. I think they're just talented. And they're in first place with Ronald Acuna Jr. on the team. If they had Ronald Acuna Jr., they'd be running away with this division right now. But as it is, they currently have a 2-game lead over the Philadelphia Phillies, who lost a tough one against the New York Metropolitans yesterday in God's country, Citi Field. Now, like I said, Rosario's performance yesterday was unique, given that he saw only 5 pitches over his 4 plate appearances, which is the fewest number of pitches seen by a player who hit for the cycle since at least 1990, per the Baseball Reference database. Rosario hit a 0-1 pitch for a double in the second, a first pitch triple in the fifth, and a first pitch homer in the seventh, and a first pitch single in the ninth. That's amazing in itself that they were throwing him good first pitches to hit. And that really is quite a feat to do. And congratulations. Great job. Great job, Eddie Rosario. Like I said, Freddie Freeman did it before. He accomplished feat on August 18th against the Marlins. Who else has done it this year? Trey Turner. And what a great trade that was for the Dodgers. We'll talk about it some other time. And Jake Cronenworth. They've also done it this year. And while Rosario's single to secure the cycle was Sunday's most exhilarating moment, Adam Duvall's 2-run home in the seventh may have been the most pivotal. Duvall sat on a hanging slider from Giants starter Anthony DeSclafani and launched it over the San Francisco bullpen, breaking a scoreless tie and snapping Atlanta's streak of 17 consecutive scoreless innings. Being able to drive in those runs was huge. Neither team was really doing anything, and that broke the game open. And then, of course, Rosario immediately followed Duvall's tie-breaking blast by pouncing on the first pitch from Zach Wittell, and he lined it over the 12 right field fence for a home run. Now, Sunday was basically Rosario's season in a nutshell of how productive he's been since coming over from Cleveland in a July 30th trade. And that trade's kind of flown under the radar. Rosario, in 19 games with Atlanta, is slashing .320, .375, .740, with almost as many home runs and as strikeouts. He has 5 homers, 6 strikeouts, and he really has helped replace the production of Ronald Acuna Jr., who's been out with that right ACL tear, and Marcelo Zuna, who, unfortunately, we'll just say he's out on administrative leave. Now, Jorge Soler and Duvall. Jorge Soler, 876 with OPS with 10 homers, and Duvall, 862 OPS with 14 home runs, have been fantastic since coming to Atlanta. So Atlanta really made some key trades, and that's been the difference maker with Acuna being down. Jock Peterson, he's had some struggles, but even he got 2 hits Sunday and provided additional pop. Acuna's singular impact cannot be replicated. Let's face it, he is one of the top players in the game. But Atlanta, for now, is getting production from various sources, and I think they're happy about that. And it's been very important to the Braves and their success so far. But let's not forget Max Fried yesterday. He made a little history of his own. He became the first Atlanta pitcher to record 10 consecutive quality starts since Alex Wood in 2014. Fried joins Wood, Tom Glavine, Tim Hudson, John Smoltz, Jair Jurgens, and who did it twice, and Chris Medwin, who are the only Braves to have 10 or more straight quality starts this millennium. You know what's missing from this picture? Greg Maddux. Well, I'm not even sure he did most of his work in the 90s. So, but Max is special, and he continues to get more and more better. And I think he's going to be staying healthy. He's going to be one of the best pitchers in the game. And it's not easy to pitch against San Francisco. He became only the 4th pitcher this season to pitch at least 7 scoreless against San Francisco, joining Walker Buehler, Kwon Hyun Kim, and Cole Irvin to do the feat. And it was a big game. It's as close to the postseason as you can get. And every game is huge, so he came up big time. Now, the Bravos have 15 regular season games remaining and will look to preserve that NL East lead as they travel to Arizona for a 4-game set against the NL worst D-backs that begin Monday. So here's the big chance for the Braves to pad on some wins. And I know Phillies play the Orioles and Pittsburgh this week. So it's going to be fun if these teams can take advantage of these bad teams. The Braves are aware they're in first place, and they got the 2-game lead. So the ball is basically in their court. So that should be fun. What else is fun? Well, everything's fun in baseball. It's like cherry picking. Which cherry do you pick now? There's so much going on. And we just touched on Eddie Rosario. And how about let's see, what do I have next on the ticker here? Oh, the Cardinals, the St. Louis Cardinals. They won big. They won big for and extended their streak. And they had a big first inning. And now they have won 8 in a row. What a week for the Cardinals. Now, as the Cardinals continue to rattle off wins, and as a rare milieu of comfort in this final stretch of the 2021 season is earned, manager Mike Schilt finds himself staring at the out-of-town scoreboard with less frequency. It's not that his ball club is complacent. They've endured way too many struggles. And I like the Cardinals to win the division in the beginning of the year, but I didn't even think they'd make this comeback. But it doesn't even matter what their opponents are doing. They're taking, like Bachman Turner Overdrive says, taking care of business. They've been taking care of their own business in the past 2 weeks since September began. And that's how the Cardinals have Busch Stadium on Sunday, taking care of their own business by breaking out with a 5-run first inning and route to an 8-7 victory over the Padres, their 8th consecutive win and 10th in their past 11 games. Now, 8 of those wins have come against teams they are trying to fend off in the National League wildcard chase. They are now riding sweeps of Mets and Padres, 2 of the teams they needed to beat in the wildcard race this year. And they go into Milwaukee, and that's going to be a tough series with that Milwaukee pitching starting Monday. It's going to be fun. I know Milwaukee has nothing to play for, but that pitching can shut down anybody. Now, since the Cardinals embarked upon this 11-game stretch, they have gone from 3.5 games back at the second NL wildcard spot to 3 up. Meantime, the Reds have gone 3-7 in their last 10 games, and the Padres 2-8 to 3.5 games back in the race. So everything's working out the Cardinals' way. Now, the Phillies entered their game Sunday night 3 games back, tied with the Reds, but they lost, so they're 3.5 out. Now, the Cardinals wouldn't notice those results playing out on the right field scoreboard as much over the past couple of weeks, as they have earned their self-determination for the playoff push, and they are the prohibitive favorites right now. They're really focused on what they're doing, and they're just looking good. I've always been a firm believer of Cardinal baseball, and I think that's what we're seeing right now, pure Cardinal baseball. Now, if the Cardinals looked up the video board after the first thing, they were seeing a replay of Dylan Carlson's game-opening catch, and he has been a pleasant surprise for the Cardinals this year. Now, he crashed into the wall with his back to the field in order to rob Fernando Tatis Jr., the man of controversy this weekend, of extra bases, and take the heat off Happ on the first pitch, J.A. Happ, who was the starter. Now, that was more or less a wake-up call for everybody to feel like, okay, it's time, let's do this. And the Cardinals did. Carlson's dazzling play was something the Cardinals have hung on their hat on through the losing skid of June and middle portion of the season. They've always played good defense. And even with the losses, the processes were there. Just results weren't coming. So sooner or later, the results always come. Now it's a coordination with the winning, and the benefits of doubly momentum inducing as ground swell is really starting to happen for the Cards. You're seeing it on both sides of the ball, and they are playing just good team baseball. Now, digging a little deeper, the Cardinals are 12-6 in September, working past walk-off heartbreak at the start of the month to now riding their longest winning streak of the season. They are 35-23 since the All-Star break and 28-18 since they added Happ and John Lester at the trade deadline. Now, a lot of people are laughing when they said that's all the Cardinals did was obtain these 2 washed-up pitchers at the deadline, but it has worked. And now, for the first time since 2019, the Cardinals of St. Louis are 10 games over 500. And you could see on the field, they have that mindset. They want to win the game. They want to win the series. And they're just playing good, fundamental baseball. So hats off to the St. Louis Cardinals. They're going to be a fun team to watch. What other team is going to be fun to watch? Well, let's look at the scroll. We covered This is the agenda we always follow here. We look at the scroll. You know me. I look at the scroll. We talked about Eddie Rosario. We talked about the St. Louis Cardinals. And next up on our agenda, as we see, the Cards ride big first frame. We spoke all about that. And now there are going to be 5 series that are really going to impact the postseason races. And let's dig deep into that, shall we? This is the time of year where series do mean a lot. And we're going to talk about what is going to happen with these series. Yes, we've reached that point where every game, let alone every series, can have a profound impact on the club's playoff hopes. Now, that being said, each series each week carries slightly more weight than others. Here's a look at the 5 series this week that figured to have the most influence on the postseason picture. Let's start tonight. It's going to be a good one. I'll be watching this one too. Yankees and Rangers I'll be watching too. My Mets are off, but I'll be watching the Blue Jays and Rays. I think that's on MLB Network. If not, I know it's on ESPN Plus, and I have MLB.TV. Well, who cares, right? But why does this series matter? Well, the Blue Jays entered the week holding on to the second NL wildcard spot, but it's a tight race. The Rays, meanwhile, are getting closer to locking up home field advantage in the American League. But their recent slide, now Tampa Bay's only 8-9 in September, including 4-7 in the last 11 games, has opened the door for the Astros. So the Astros may be looking at the best record in baseball. So you're looking for the home field advantage. This is going to be big for Tampa Bay. Now, what other teams will be watching closely? Well, the Red Sox are 1 game ahead of Toronto for the first wildcard spot, and in turn, home field advantage in a potential AL wildcard game. Now, that's not locked in stone because the Yankees may still have something to say about that because they're 1.5 games back. And Oakland always makes noise come postseason time. They're only 2 games out. And the much, much improved Mariners, whose future is so bright I'm going to have to start wearing shades, are only 4 games still within striking distance. But it's going to be fun. And I know Tuesday's game is televised nationally on ESPN, so I think tonight's game is on MLB Network. But check your local listings, as they like to say. Now, the other series we were just talking about, the Cardinals, is the Cardinals at the Brewers Monday to Thursday. Now, why does this matter? Well, the Cardinals have started to open up some separation and race for the final NL wildcard spot. Because they've proven over the past couple of weeks that can all change quickly, especially with this 4-game set against the first-place Brewers looming. As for Milwaukee, the Brewers are likely going to finish as the number 2 seed in the NL, though there is still an outside chance the Brewers can chase down the Giants and Dodgers for the top record in major leagues. Now, what teams will be watching this series closely? Of course, the Phillies. The Phillies' easiest path to the postseason is now catching the Braves in the NL East, but they're still in the wild card hunt. The Reds and Padres, meanwhile, have stumbled in the standings in recent weeks after holding that final wild card spot at various times over the past month. Cincinnati enters the week just 3-7 in its last 10 games, and San Diego is 2-8 in its last 10. Wow. That's it. You talk about who could have predicted that. Meanwhile, the Cards have won 9 of their last 10. So just like all these teams that he stated are out of it, when something like this can happen, it can happen. Now, all these games will be on MLB.TV, and Thursday's game will be one of those YouTube exclusives. Have you guys liked those YouTube games? I find them quite a different approach with the commentary. I mean, you can watch everyone's comments, but then that becomes clutter noise. So I just watch the broadcast. I delete all the comments. And how about this one? Just for tradition's sake, the Yankees at the Red Sox Friday through Sunday. But this one's going to have a lot of impact. Now, the Yankees look poised to make the postseason after reeling off 13 straight wins last month. They did look like the Yankees of Murderers Row fame, but now they're on the outside looking in for the 2 AL wildcard spots. They ended the week 1.5 games back at the Blue Jays for that final spot, and 2.5 back at the Red Sox, who hold the AL top wild card spot. Now, who's going to be watching this game? Well, the good news for these 3 clubs is that either the Yankees or Red Sox will have to lose each night. Of course, the bad news is one of them also has to win. Either way, the Blue Jays entered the week and control their own path to the postseason. Well, the door will be open for the A's and Mariners to make up ground on at least one of those clubs. Now, all these games, of course, will be on MLB.TV. And Sunday's finale, guess where it will be? Yes, with our good friends Matt Vasgersian and Alex Rodriguez. And Saturday's contest will be televised by the MLB Network for all of you who live outside the Boston, New York market. And this is what I'm looking for. I like National League Classic matchups like this, the Braves and Padres, Friday, Sunday. Now, why does it matter? Because things have been skidding for both ball clubs lately, and the Braves are clinging on to that NL East lead in their quest to win a fourth division straight title, while the Padres are desperately trying to escape their second half free fall and stay in the NL Card West. Now, who's going to be watching this one? Well, the Phillies are nipping at the Braves' heels in the NL East, and the two rivals meet for a 3-game set in Atlanta during the final week of the regular season. This week will go a long way toward determining the significance of that showdown, I should say, as the Phillies play host to a pair of last-place teams in the Orioles and Pirates, while the Braves head west to face the D-backs and Padres. D-backs are another team you want to see on your schedule, so things may work out there for the Bravos. And as for the Cards and Reds, St. Louis is trying to hold off both Cincinnati and San Diego for the final wild card spot. Now, Saturday's game will be a nationally televised broadcast on Fox. And, of course, all 3 games will be on MLB.TV. Now, here's one. It's not a classic matchup, but one that I'm looking forward to. I always love the Pennsylvania rivalry between the Phillies and the Pirates. And the Phillies' second half roller coaster continues. Oh, my God. If you're a Philly fan, it's been a wild ride. And right now, not including last night's game, it's been weird, hasn't it? Every time it looks like that they faded out of the postseason race, the Phillies go right on another run and get right back in it. Now they have a golden opportunity to continue making up ground this week when they play 7 games against the Orioles and Pirates. And who's going to be watching this? Well, Atlanta. Atlanta's number 1 because they're trying to hold off Philadelphia in the NL East. And while winning the division is likely the Phillies' best bet to make the postseason at this point, they're also still in the wild card hunt with Cards, Reds, and Padres. So that is going to be fun. So much stuff going on. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. And what else? Well, we mentioned Rosario hitting for the cycle. We mentioned the Cardinals' big win and big series against the Padres, looking at the ticker here. And we just went in depth about the big series coming up. This is the time where series are really, really looked at closely. And me personally, I'm really looking forward to it. And now let's talk about our good friend, Shohei Ohtani. Yes. A lot of people thought he wasn't. I think the Angels even said he wasn't going to come back to the mound this year, but he came out and struck out 10 in the Halos' 10-inning loss to the A's. Now, despite having his scheduled start against the A's pushed back 2 days because of arm soreness, two-way sensation Shohei Ohtani was sharp on Sunday. He struck out 10 over 8 strong innings to solidify his status as the front runner for the American League Most Valuable Player award. Ohtani gave a pair of solo homers and was stuck with a no decision for the Angels fell 3-2 in 10 innings in the series finale at Angel Stadium. Ohtani came up short in his quest for his 10th win, but he's 9-2 with a 3.28 ERA with 146 strikeouts and 123 in the third innings over 22 starts. He did great. I mean, he competed and he started missing bats again, so he had his stuff. And he had everything working except giving up those 2 homers. It looked like he pitched very, very well. Now, as far as homers, Ohtani ranks 3rd in the major leagues by hitting 44 homers, and he is expected to get at least 1 more start this year. Now, this output by him yesterday put to rest any of those concerns about his health as he opened the game with a 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts and saw his fastball touch 99 miles per hour in his final inning. There was concern on Wednesday he might be shut down for the season. Ohtani said he felt fine during his outing. He didn't take it too seriously, Ohtani said, and it was just soreness from his last couple outings that wasn't going away in time. He just needed a couple of days. Physically, he felt fine. If I had a lower pitch count, I wanted to go out back for the 9th inning. But he was efficient throughout the afternoon, and he needed 108 pitches to get through 8 frames, which tied a career high set on August 18th. And his splitter was untouchable yesterday. He threw it a season-high 55 times. That's unbelievable. And registered 17 swings and misses with it, including 9 strikeouts. Go with your pitch, Shohei. Go with your pitch. He coached 6 swings and misses with his slider and 3 with his fastball. mostly staying away from his slider and cutter and relying on his splitter. Now, it looks like he's been experimenting with different grips, but he's had good command of it. You can see the swing and miss and weak contact, and that's what Shohei's all about. And he finished strong. He even threw 99 miles per hour to Matt Chapman before he got him. Ohtani's a beast. He's one of a kind. And it's just a shame when the country, first of all, point out on the West Coast, we don't get to see him, and he doesn't get much national TV coverage. Oh, man, if he only played in the East Coast, this guy would be the man in baseball. We all talk about him, but he would be the man in baseball. Now, after striking out in the seventh, Ohtani went back out for the eighth at 90 pitches and found himself into trouble. He loaded the bases 1 out, but he got Jed Lowry to pop up for the 2nd out and struck out Chapman on a 2-2 splitter to escape the jam. Now, Ohtani was pumped after that. He let out a celebratory fist pump as he left the mound. And I guess he showed everybody once again why he's an MVP candidate. He's definitely got one of the best split fingers in the game, and it's pretty hard to lay off. You see people, they go fishing for it. And he went deep in the game, and that's what they needed to do. He did a great job. When I say he goes deep, am I talking about pitching or his home run? Well, I meant pitching this time. He does go deep quite often with his bat, too. Offensively, Ohtani walked twice and tried to spark rally in the 6th by dropping down a bunt against Frankie Montas. How about that? Here's a guy with over 40 homers just trying to get the offense going by dropping a bunt. Ohtani couldn't beat out the throw to first from Montas and limited the Angels just 1 hit over 7 innings. He also struck out to end the 8th against lefty reliever Jake Diekman. Now, the Angels scored twice in the 9th to keep Ohtani from getting a loss, but ultimately fell in extras as they finished their season against Oakland 4-15. You have a yearly series like that going 4-15 against a division opponent. Well, you're not going to be in the division race. And that sums up the Angels season in a nutshell. So, despite Ohtani's great season, we're just going to have to see what he can do next year. It's a shame. You want to see Ohtani really, really blossom, but he did, but his team did not. Now, who didn't blossom yesterday? Who saw this coming? Garrett Cole. He lost a crucial game, and that's why the Yankees got him for the big bucks. And he sat in the Yankee home dugout on Sunday, his left palm pressed to his cheek and a glum expression across his face. Late afternoon shadows encroached upon the playing field, and the scoreboard offered even more evidence that it was getting late. As the Yankees continue to approach each game as a must-win, Cole endured one of the most disappointing thumpings of his pinstripe career. Knocked around for 7 runs and 10 hits and 11-1 loss to the Indians. That also denied his chances at the American League Cy Young Award. It sucks to lose like this, Cole said. It still sucks not to have a really clear and concise answer for what a problem is. You can go ahead and fix it. Now, I don't know if you saw the press conference, but Cole was emphatically angry at himself. And I guess that's what you want to see. You don't want that to occur, but that's what you want to see if you're the Yankees. For the Yankees, they lost ground in the AL wildcard race chase to the Red Sox and Blue Jays, who won their respective games. So not a good day for the Yankees. They're 2.5 games now behind Boston and 1.5 behind Toronto. Now, Gio Urshela's third inning solo homer to be all the Yankees could muster against right-hander Eli Morgan, who scattered 6 hits over 6 innings. The Yanks lost 15 of 22 games since their 13-game winning streak. That's amazing. That is amazing. And including 9 of 15 against teams with records under 500. I hate to say it, if you can't beat the teams under 500, I don't think you're making the playoffs, but they still have a shot. And they better get better in a hurry. Time is running out. Now, in his second start since a left hamstring injury, Cole could not provide the ace-like performance this team was counting on. He was unlucky in the first inning, victimized by a couple of soft hits, but Cleveland hit him hard the rest of the way, so they kind of rattled Cole with those early hits, and it bothered him the rest of the way, and he couldn't get that third out, and he couldn't keep the ball off the bat, and that is the key to Cole's success. Well, any power pitcher's success, to be honest with you. And Harold Ramirez cued a 2-run single in the first inning that wrapped a 2-run single to center field in the third that eluded Aaron Judge and Brett Gardner, and I thought these guys were going to crash. And it could have been scary if they did, especially with Judge being a locomotive, but luckily they did not crash. And Roberto Perez laced a run-scoring single on Cleveland's three-run third inning, and Jose Ramirez tagged Cole for a solo homer in the fifth, part of a four-hit performance. And Perez launched the drive into the left field bullpen in the sixth. Cole walked one and struck out 7 over 5 and 2/3 innings, hitting one batter. He heard boos as he left the playing field. It's a bad game, man. That's New York. And he huddled with catcher Kyle Higashioka after the outing. Both said they did not believe Cole tipped his pitches. I don't think it looked too different than it has been, Higashioka said. We got hurt by some weak contact early, and then it started snowballing. To me, it was just one of those days. Now, the Yankees went down meekly over the past several innings. Most of a crowd of 34,110 already spilled out onto East 161st Street by the time first baseman Anthony Rizzo booted a ninth-inning grounder that allowed Cleveland's 11th run to score. The final 5 Yankee batters struck out. Just not a good day. They got to turn the page and start playing better tomorrow or today against the Rangers. The Yankees were outscored 22-4 in the final 2 games of the series against Cleveland. And Boone continues to insist it's not an issue with the team's intensity or preparation. Even with the energy today, you're getting your teeth kicked in again. The compete is there, but not the production. And you know what that kind of tells me? Maybe they're just not that talented. But what do I know? I picked the Yankees to win over 100 games in the beginning of the season. Now, Cole's 7 strikeouts gave him 231 for the season, surpassing Luis Severino, who had 230 in 17, and CC Sabathia, who had 230 in 2011 for the third most by a Yankee pitcher. Only Ron Guidry, 248 and 78, and Jack Chesborough, 239 and 1904, have recorded more. Sunday's stumble, well, from a personal standpoint, could have cost Cole a Cy Young Award against the Blue Jays' Robbie Ray, who is 12-5 with a 2.64 ERA, as Cole's ERA jumped to 2.75 to 3.03. And Ray now holds a slight edge in whip and opponent's batting average, too. But that being said, it was a crucial game, and there were too many runs to come back from the Yankees. So they do have to turn the page and get the ball rolling again. Well, those were the 5 topics I wanted to talk about. And again, on a daily basis, we'll talk about the 5 hot topics of baseball every day. And like I said, I want you guys to actually leave comments on either this broadcast, or I'm going to put up a reminder tomorrow's show. And feel free to even participate. If you want to join, come on and join. And if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. That way you get updated and have access to the library of these YouTube casts. And like I said, the beautiful thing is I do this, and if I see something during the course of a day, or one topic thing I would just want to discuss, I'll pop on during the day in addition to these broadcasts. And also note that I do one of these Met broadcasts specifically gearing towards the Mets every morning. And that's usually at 8:15. And if Monday and Friday, I do a broadcast here with Joey Buchholz of the Utopian Baseball Universe at 8:30. So if you have for some free time, check us out this morning. And I also go on his broadcast on Fridays at 8:30 a.m. on Utopian Baseball Universe. And we talk a lot of good stuff there. Check it out. So that way I don't have to babble on about it. And again, if you ever need to reach me, I'm at philstan41@gmail.com. If you're watching this YouTube cast and not a member of the group, please do join Baseball Way of Life Facebook group. To me, it's the best group out there. We're 10,000 strong, and we keep rocking every day. And again, please subscribe to this YouTube cast. You guys mean the world to me. The fact that you're even watching this or in the group itself and participating means the world to me. So enjoy the day. If you're around, see you at 8:30 with Utopian Baseball Cafe update. And see you soon. Enjoy the day.